and one day wants to really go to space. Tip number 10 is be proud of who you are. After all, if we cannot be proud of who we are, who can be? The tip might go a step further and suggest we live a life that enables us to be proud of who we are. My final launch was the beautiful night launch of STS-116 in December of 2006. Only 2 hours before this launch, I was with the NASA administrator greeting dignitaries in a new building, perfect for viewing launches, called the OSB-2. One particular group of distinguished guests was the men from the VA hospital in Tampa, Florida, who had been severely injured in the Iraq War. After the launch, I decided to spend more time with the vets. I found them to be confident, kind, patriotic, and very proud of who they were, in spite of the injuries they had endured. The veteran who touched me the most was Sergeant Russ Merrick of the U.S. Army. Russ had lost his right arm, right leg, and experienced brain damage due to an explosion. Sergeant Merrick, with that big, handsome smile, approached me in a wheelchair. We shook hands as he said, "Hello, Mr. Kennedy, my name is Russ Merrick, and I just wanted to thank you." I said, "Sergeant Merrick, I think I should be the one thanking you." He said, "No, not at all. He wanted to thank me for the NASA technology that enabled him to utilize his new prosthetic arm." He went on to explain that because of NASA, he had the ability for his brain to command arm and hand movements. He wanted to demonstrate this, and in doing so, he also showed a great sense of humor. He suggested we both have our brain tell our right arm to rotate clockwise 45 degrees. This was pretty easy so far. He then said, "Let's do the same, except let's rotate our arms counterclockwise this time." Again, no big deal. Then came the zinger. He said, "Have your brain command your right arm to rotate hard over clockwise, or in other words, to rotate it as far as it would go." My arm rotated about 90 degrees. He laughed and said, "Hey, I can do better," at which point he loosened his shirt sleeve and proceeded to rotate his arm around and around and around without stopping. We laughed until we cried. To say I was proud of Sergeant Merrick would be an understatement. Proud of his attitude, his courage, his willingness to accept what life dealt him. Sergeant Merrick was, simply stated, proud of who he was. May God bless Sergeant Merrick and the men and women who so bravely serve and sacrifice on our behalf. As a footnote, you should know that Sergeant Merrick was selected to receive the first ever arm transplant in the history of the U.S. Army. Good luck, Russ.